With all these new MacBooks and recent updates to macOS, oh my god, an old prehistoric question reemerged. What's better, macOS or Windows? I have been using macOS for like 2 years now, and I made a decision to fully switch from Windows to macOS, and now I can easily name 10 ways the macOS is better than Windows. Even more, these features are exclusive on macOS, and you won't get them anytime soon in Windows. Now, I know that some of you simply have to use Windows because of your work, app support, you get flexibility in some areas. But if all the apps you need are well optimized for macOS, watch this video till the end. I've got 10 reasons for you to switch. The first thing I want to talk about is kind of a question of taste, but hear me out. As soon as you power on the computer, you will instantly notice the friendliness and fluidity of animations. When compared, two systems have a completely polar approach to animations. On macOS, they are colorful, expressive, and visually descriptive. If you move something to the bin, it fills up and you hear the sound. When you empty it, you again hear the sound and see the animation. Each time you minimize the window, it gracefully swishes to the dock and stays there. Just look at that animation. On Windows, the window simply disappears. macOS is friendly in every pixel and tries to make friends with you, shows you how to do things comfortably, while Windows just throws everything it has on you. To enable or disable something, you need to dig through countless menus, use console commands, and pray that the app you've downloaded yesterday didn't bring any viruses in. You won't see any of those things in macOS. After a day with macOS, to some of you, Windows will start looking choppy and slow. Yeah, animations and fluidity is a very subjective topic. Personally, I like them a lot, but I have friends that prefer the minimalism of Windows, so animations can be a benefit, but only if you're into that. The second thing that will amaze you in macOS is optimization. No matter the Mac you buy, the system will be fast and responsive at all times. It was always surprising how much can be achieved when developers actually care about the optimization. The roots of this benefit are not hard to track. The number of computers that run macOS historically was much lower than running Windows. This fact doesn't even need proof. Any electronics store you go to will have dozens of Windows laptops to choose from, but there will be only 4 or 5 Macs. That's the rule. Windows simply cannot be optimized to run well on all devices, but macOS can, and developers really optimize not only the system but also the apps. It has always amazed me how different can one single app perform on a Mac and Windows computer of the same performance. If the app is optimized correctly, the macOS will wipe the floor with Windows. In many cases, the optimization is what makes macOS such a great productivity tool. macOS optimized apps work better than on Windows, but don't be fooled, there still are apps that aren't optimized that well or work better on Windows. The optimization is mostly present, but you can still stumble on specific tasks that can be done faster on Windows. The third thing is updates. If you use Windows, answer this. How much time do you spend configuring the updates on Windows? They pop up at the worst time possible, they cannot be fully turned off, and they cannot be done without butchering your workflow. The Windows update has even become a meme.
It doesn't even give you a choice to say no. It just comes up whenever it wants, automatically, and says, fuck you, we're turning off your computer no matter what you're doing in 10 minutes and 47 seconds. I am fucking rendering something, you cocksucker!
It's so bad that some users install heavily modified versions of Windows just to get rid of that constant search for updates. Plus, Windows updates are pretty limiting. If you have purchased a license for Windows 7, you can update to Windows 10, but the latest version, Windows 11, is blocked for you. You must pay extra to update. With macOS, you purchase a computer and it will support and receive updates until the moment it can no longer support them. 2012 MacBooks were supported all the way until 2020 and macOS Catalina, right until the moment the Apple Silicon Macs were first launched. For 8 years, those Macs were regularly updated, fully supported without any issues. Those updates had all the features and worked very well on those old Macs. Can you name at least one 8-year-old laptop that did run the latest OS for 8 years straight? And that's not all. What really sets Windows and macOS apart is the attitude towards the buyer. When you purchase Windows, you have no apps to write texts, create presentations, or edit spreadsheets. To get them, you need to pay Microsoft for a subscription. On macOS, on the other hand, a very capable editing software pack is included for free. It gets automatically installed with the system. This way, even if you turn on your computer for the first time, you already can do some work on it. But macOS goes even further and includes GarageBand and iMovie for free. With these apps, you can already create movies and edit videos. You see, one system you have to figure everything out on your own, another one is fully ready to accept its human user. The fifth amazing thing about macOS is the seamless integration of all Apple devices. If you have an iPhone, your photos, videos, messages, reminders, and a ton of other stuff will be synced. You will not have to enter passwords on your computer because you already have them in your account. If you have AirPods, they will automatically connect to your Mac when needed and switch to your phone when you're watching something on it. If you have an Apple Watch, your Mac won't ask you to enter any passwords when you open the lid. The macOS knows your watch is nearby and it doesn't ask you for passwords. You can even make purchases with watch plus macOS combo, but if you have an iPad, you can easily turn it into a second screen. The wireless connection works magically well. You can drag windows around, use your iPad as a preview window while editing, and many other things. The Apple ecosystem with a Mac in it works great and really relieves you from some struggles and difficulties of life. On the topic of connecting things, if you're planning on buying a Mac, you may also want to consider picking up a good hub such as Union Pro 8-in-1, the sponsor of today's video. The Uni USB-C 8-in-1 hub is a small external device that connects via USB-C to a desktop, laptop, or tablet and offers a multitude of connections: SD card slot, micro SD port, free USB Type-A, one Type-C, HDMI, and Ethernet. Everything I tested worked as expected. I tried external drives, standard SD cards, a micro SD card, and older legacy USB drives. All performed well. I even hooked up my laptop to a widescreen monitor via HDMI and it instantly connected and acted as a second display. There isn't a bit of wasted space on the hub. It's about the size of a deck of cards, encased in a rubber bumper that serves as ruggedized protection and to elevate it slightly above the desk surface to keep it cool. Removable cases provide superior grip on any surface and enhanced protection against damage from accidental drops. Aluminum construction gives off a premium feel compared to those plastic dongles. With a removable Type-C connector, a rugged rubber case, and 8 thoughtfully arranged ports, Union Pro 8-in-1 USB-C hub is the best choice as a docking station at home and an all-round hub on the road. This hub is an all-you-need solution for every Mac owner. And to learn more about this hub, check out the link in the description below. Moving on, Spotlight search is another thing you want to see on Windows. Windows can search through files, but its search is flawed and generally unhelpful. With Spotlight, you can effortlessly find a picture of a dog from 5 years ago, or that one message from your friend that drives you nuts. Spotlight in macOS can search for images online, give you answers to questions, set timers, make simple calculations, convert currencies and units. It can do almost everything. Personally, I use it all the time. I need to find new info every day, and through Spotlight, I can access the infinite wisdom of the internet effortlessly. I seriously don't know how you can live without such a powerful tool. The seventh advantage of macOS is its navigation. By navigation, I mean switching between apps, windows, multitasking, all swipes and gestures. If you have never used macOS, the gestures will blow your mind. You can create multiple virtual desktops, fill them with apps, and easily switch between them by swiping on a trackpad. Through Mission Control, you can see what apps you have opened, and that list will be visually comprehensive and informative without leaving you wondering, where's that Chrome window? On Windows, you can see the launched apps, but the way it's done is counterintuitive. In macOS, you don't need to learn a ton of mumbo-jumbo to use the system. All the interactions are so intuitive and natural that getting used to them takes mere minutes. Plus, don't you get frustrated from a filing system on Windows? All those disks, managing the space on them, decluttering the system disk, all that is simply inconvenient. In macOS, you have only one disk. Your desktop is your file manager, and you don't need to relocate files so the new movie or app could fit. It just works, you know? The distinctive feature number 8 is small in its nature but huge in its importance. focus modes. With these modes, you can drastically improve productivity. Every day we get a ton of notifications. On Windows, you can silence them all for an hour. You need to manually turn off each one. If someone calls you, you instantly get distracted. If someone texts you, you get distracted even more. With focus modes on macOS, you can effortlessly turn off everything that prevents you from working. Apps, people, messages, you can silence anything. If you want to work, you will not be interrupted. Personally, I use focus modes every day. I have multiple focus modes, and believe me, once you set everything up, you will see how your effectiveness changes. You simply become another person. The thing number 9 is big: Airdrop and universal clipboard. Sharing files between devices seems like an easy deal, right? However, Windows cannot do that. You still need a cable to transfer photos or videos. Surely you can use messengers or email, but that wireless solution is not so convenient. With macOS, you can simply use Airdrop. Photos, videos, links, virtually anything can be sent via Airdrop fast and easy. A few mouse clicks and any files appear on your iPhone straight away without issues. Almost. For me, as a content creator, this is a must. I can easily transfer all the images I take with my phone to my Mac without connecting slow cables. And that universal clipboard, that's just something. I can copy stuff on my iPhone and paste it on my Mac and vice versa. It works all the time and does not require any setup. Handoff and iMessage. Handoff is something that simply cannot be done with Windows. This feature is exclusive for Mac users who have other Apple devices. Imagine this. You start typing a note on your iPhone, but suddenly you need to continue writing on the Mac. You look at the dock in macOS and you see the Notes app icon with a small phone on it. You click that, and boom, you're typing again. And this works in many apps. If you're browsing the web, your open tab can be seen on your iPhone and vice versa. If you're on a call, you can easily switch it to a Mac if needed. Everything works like it's one organism. macOS seemingly picks up data from your iPhone and iPad and makes it accessible. I can't overestimate how useful that is, especially if you're doing many things at once. Windows doesn't have that and probably never will. macOS is superior in every way. Not in every way, but in many. But the true potential really becomes noticeable if you have some extra Apple devices. But even without the iPhone, you will still feel the benefits of macOS. You will fall in love with those animations, the fluidity of interaction, and being constantly treated with love and respect. I can go on for hours about why I love macOS so much, but you won't watch such a video. I strongly advise you to try macOS for yourself if you can. This experience will be eye-opening for you.